I don't know who Jared is, don't ask me who Jared is. Every time I wear this shirt, I get asked, who's Jared? Fuck if I know. Welcome back everyone to the low budget shit show. Today we're going somewhere a little bit scary. It's the relationship advice subreddit, where as far as I can tell is the place that people go when they're very obviously being manipulated and they don't want to accept that their partner sucks, or B, they're the manipulative ones and they're hoping to weaponize the responses. My 10 cents for what it's worth, if you're posting on Reddit for relationship advice, just break up. It's over. The relationship's gone off, it's gone bad, it's rancid. Get rid of it. Don't keep it in your fridge growing mold, you know what I mean? But I am also glad that people are posting paragraphs. But I'm also not mad that they're posting it because this is great content. So one man's trash is another man's content. It's also pissing down rain at the moment, so if you can hear the rain, unfortunately I can't stop that just yet, so let's just be happy for the trees. Before we begin, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of my upper tier patrons who allow me to make videos like this. They're the reason we can sit down together and do this, so love them to bits. Best people on the planet, big fan, huge fan. There's a bunch of content over there, there's more going up all the time, and depending on the tier that you choose, you can get up to 20% off my clothing brand Rift Supply Co. Speaking of relationships, Rift, I've gotten quite a few messages from people saying that their relationship started because of a Rift shirt, which is wild to say. Like, I've had one person say both them and their now partner were wearing a Rift shirt at a bar and they talked to each other. Another one got complimented on her shirt and now they're like, it's crazy how that works. So basically, if you'd like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or they friend, riftsupplyco.com and patreon.com/BrienneWorth if you want a bit of discount first. The biggest slut at the antique store tees just went up and this is one I bought in. They're so comfy. I don't know how to, can you see this? I want everyone wearing shirts that say biggest slut at the antique store, quite frankly. It's ridiculous, it's cunty, and I love it. Okay, starting off strong. My boyfriend, 29 male of 5 months, asked me, 33 female, if I would choose my cats over him. Is this gonna be a video where I just get increasingly more pissed off throughout? Probably. During an argument yesterday, my boyfriend asked me if I would choose my 2 cats over him if it came down to it. When I couldn't answer, he flipped out and said I clearly don't love him if I choose the cats over him. F off. Get the fuck out of here. I'm already annoyed. What 29-year-old man asks this question to begin with? Like, why are you even asking a question like, would you choose cats over him? Why are you even asking that? It's weird from like a nearly 30-year-old man. What the hell? He said that he would choose me over absolutely anything and that he'd sacrifice literally anything/anyone to be with me. He said that while cats are loving companions, they can't do the same things that a human can, so it should be a no-brainer to pick him over them. Okay, so like, what is it he wants out of this? Obviously it's validation, but now he's saying it's big for practical reasons. Like, he wants to know that she loves him more than the cats is what it is. It's like stems from insecurity and he's looking for her validation to band-aid that. But now he's saying it's because the cats can't do everything humans can. What the fuck? Where is the logic? What are we following here? Does this sound controlling or manipulative to anyone? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's creating like an us versus them with a cat. It's just weird, it's needy, and it just screams insecurity. Or worst case scenario, he's doing it to set up future hypotheticals with like friends and family and in an effort to isolate and manipulate her. Who knows? It's just weird across the board. Or do you think he has a valid point? Absolutely not. Just read, it says 5 months. Boyfriend of 5 months is saying he'd sacrifice literally anything/anyone to be with her. This is really weird. 5 months and you're asking this shit? Oh, this is all really weird. Assuming she's had the cats like way longer, why would you choose someone you've known for 5 months, who've been dating for 5 months, over your cats? Why would you have to choose either one ever? There's no actual real life scenario where you have to choose one or the other. In this scenario, at least, we definitely know that. So like, why is the overarching question that I'm asking here. No one with like emotional stability is asking these questions, let alone 5 months in. This is off tits. It's 29, it's been 5 months, get an absolute grip, dude. But also if it's reassurance and validation, if that's literally all he wants, there are so many better ways to get that other than this weird shit. Oh, just weird. It's all weird. Is my 40 female husband, 42 male, cheating? What would you do in my situation? There's so many of these posts on this subreddit and like almost every single time, you're probably gonna get like a million different answers because what's cheating to one person isn't what's cheating to the next person. Generally, when you start a relationship, you should talk about what each of you defines as cheating or isn't okay, is okay, blah, 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 because everyone's got different boundaries. Without even reading it, people coming on here being like, is this cheating? Is it cheating to you? Because then yes, it is. That's your boundary within the relationship. My husband and I are together for 5 years now. Everything is great overall. We complete each other nicely. I'm the social butterfly, he's more introvert. Thing is, I'm wary of one of his co-workers. I'm not the jealous type, but I don't know why there is something that bothers me. I have access to his phone phone and I don't know why, but one day I checked her messages. You do know why, because you just said it. Because it's something that bothers you. It's a vibe, it's a hunch, probably not super unwarranted by the looks. There was nothing much. They don't speak every day and mostly it's just about work-related things. But one message got my attention. She was asking what he thought about her and he said she would always be beautiful to him. I was uneasy, tried to find something else but didn't. I let it go as I too am sometimes very familiar with my co-workers. Okay, yeah, maybe a little bit odd to some, but nothing bad here yet. Now, a few days ago, I decided to check in again and I'm crushed by what I saw. She asked what is his taste for something random and he just answered you. Okay, so that's weird. That's probably odd. The floor gave out underneath me. Okay, so then yes, you do consider this cheating and that's what it is. If you're having the reaction to that, the floor is giving out underneath you, this is your boundary. You know what I mean? What do you guys think I should do? Note, he was allegedly cheated on by his ex and was making a big deal about being faithful. This is getting more sus. Now I'm second guessing everything he told me. I don't know if I need to keep digging or just confront him. We have kids. Oh God. Live together and I thought we were happy. I can't believe this is happening right now. I guess it happens a lot, especially at work, but damn, it hurts. Yeah, so this is obvious. This is cheating to her. Answering you with what is his taste in something when you're married with kids it feels really inappropriate. It might be the symptom of a larger problem. It would almost definitely is. Maybe there is actual cheating behind that. Who fucking knows? This warrants a conversation. That to me is like more than just being like familiar with your coworker, but anyway, especially like if you're married with kids in a straight relationship, this is really odd. Also the overemphasis on like being faithful and saying he got cheated on feels like it could be like projection and him flipping the story, possibly. We don't really know. We don't know because we don't have any more context. This could be seen as emotional cheating. It could just be seen as cheating, which I don't think she's had an update. Oh well, this was posted 6 hours ago, so there's been no update. Moving on. My almost fiance, 28 female, cheated with a lesbian on me, 28 male. How do I move forward better? Why does every video always come back to lesbians? Okay, let's go lesbians? No, we don't. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. My girlfriend, 28 female, has been with me for 3 years. We didn't have a proper beginning as we were both in relationships and cheated on our partners towards the end of the relationships. Okay, so I have less sympathy. I have less empathy for this now because you did the same thing. Both of you did. I'm not proud of it and it was the lowest moral action I've committed. I went with my desire and I had to live with the guilt. During our 3 years, the relationship went quite well. We grew together and both families were very welcoming, going on vacations and visiting each other's houses weekly. We even had plans on moving out and I bought the ring ready to propose. Moving out? You're both 28. Why are you both living with your family? Look, no judgment. It's actually in this fucking economy, I'd do the same thing if I could. Shit happened. About 2 months ago, someone on social media anonymously tipped me saying that my girlfriend had been cheating on me with a lesbian from work for the past 6 months. Jesus Christ. At first, I didn't believe it till I showed my girlfriend the message and she revealed to me that it was true. Ugh. Well, look, she's consistent. Her pattern of behavior is at least consistent. They've been seeing each other over the past few months secretly and even her family helped her cover it up without letting me know. Well, this is all just a mess. None of it and none of the people in this story, including the poster, are looking great at the moment. I did my best to communicate to gain more understanding first and talking about how that made me feel in the most awful way possible. Needless to say, it was a lot of crying, pointing fingers and not pretty, as one would imagine. I don't know how that conversation ever goes smoothly and happily with sunshine and rainbows, but anyway, emphasis on the rainbows because this girl is gay. We tried to communicate on and off for the past 2 months, but I cannot see she is taking much action to rectify it. Well, there's your whole answer. Or showing much remorse other than blaming me at times for not providing enough emotional support. There's your whole answer. This is resolved. Someone cheated, they're not doing anything to rectify it or showing any remorse and they're blaming you. Like, what do you mean? This person knows their partner sucks or ex-partner, I don't even know what the fuck is going on here. And they're just not ready to accept that and leave because this is black and white. Now I'm thinking maybe I have ignored the red flags at first, that we started immorally and characters do not change. Well, in that case, then your character, the poster's character, wouldn't change either. So I don't know how true that is, but I would say someone's past behavior is a very good indicator of their future behavior, almost always, with very few exceptions. If there's not been like significant work done in the middle there, which it doesn't sound like there was. I did the best I could to make this relationship positive and healthy, and I believe she did too for the most part before the cheating period. Yeah, I mean, cheating really does put a damper on the whole making a relationship healthy and positive thing. It really just, yeah, it fucks that up a little bit by almost every time without fail. I've heard from other sources that she may still be seeing the affair partner in person and all her colleagues are aware of it. This sucks. ass hard. We're now in no contact except when we go to couples counseling. Just had the why the fuck even bother with it? I mean, like, each to their own, but why? It's over, man. Why is the girl bothering with this? Why is she going to couples counseling when she's clearly fucking checked out? Clearly checked out and possibly still seeing this other chick. Maybe guilt, I don't even know. But I have no motivation at all to continue the relationship as it feels one-sided and mentally draining. Yeah, it's because it probably is. Like, the simplest answer is usually the correct one. If it feels like she's not trying to rectify it, it feels like she's blaming you and doesn't have remorse and it's one-sided, it is. Any advice on how to end the relationship and move forward in life? Just end it and move on. Hope that helps. 2 cheaters getting into a relationship and that relationship working out long-term is ambitious. It's ambitious. As of how you move on and heal from this, there's like 50 billion different answers to that. But cutting contact, breaking up with them, not ever seeing them again, deleting every possible thing is step 1. I don't know why at the end of all of that, the question isn't, the question is how do I end the relationship? That's the easiest fucking part. You're 28, babes. You just end it. It does like that whole saying where it's like you lose them the same way that you get them seems to be quite true here. But also not talking at all, like zero contact other than couples counseling is really nuts, and the fact that both of you have agreed to do that is crazy to me. Next. My girlfriend, 28 female, why is it always the 28-year-olds? What's going on here, guys? Spent 2 nights at a guy's friend's 28 male's place. I didn't love that sentence. Me and my girlfriend were together for 3 years. So you've already broken up? My girlfriend recently went on a 1-week trip to SF, San Francisco, and stayed at a guy friend's place. This friend has been close to her for 10 years and I've met him a couple times before. Before the trip, she told me she would be staying there alone since he was traveling elsewhere during that time. I trusted her and didn't have an issue with it. I already don't like where this is going. However, on Friday night, he unexpectedly came back from his trip. When you see this exact same thing play out a million times with people, especially in these subreddits, it's like, did he come back unexpectedly or is this part of the breadcrumbing? She ended up staying at his house with him, just the 2 of them, on Friday and Saturday night. The next thing would be like, did she tell you about it beforehand? Did she tell you about it when it happened? Did you have to dig this information out of her? I didn't find out about this until a few days later when she mentioned it. Okay. So there's leaning towards looking pretty sus here. That's when I learned what had happened. I asked her why she didn't tell me earlier and she explained that she didn't mention it beforehand because she thought I wouldn't be okay with her staying there with him. But oh my God, dude, it's literally saying the quiet part out loud. That specific part is where like the betrayal of trust happened, not necessarily the friend coming back from his trip, plans being changed, whatever, if that did happen. It's the actively hiding things because you know it would be crossing a boundary that your partner has. Like, that's the thing that is not okay and will breach trust because there was no communication there or consideration for your partner. And in fact, the only thing you did consider was that they wouldn't like it. So you're gonna do it anyway and just lie by omission. It's just all a bit fucky. I told her I wasn't comfortable with this and hoped it wouldn't happen again. I tried to explain that while I don't mind her hanging out, eating meals or drinking with guy friends, I feel uncomfortable with the idea of them sleeping under the same roof. And again, this is different boundaries for different people. Some people might not care about this at all. She responded by saying my boundaries were wrongly set and that I'm insecure because he's her longtime friend. She also explained that she grew up in an environment where it's totally normal to have guy friends, which is like, that's on its own fine. It is totally normal to have friends of the opposite sex. That is normal. What the sus part is, and the part where the trust has been betrayed, is the lying about it and like hiding it, the being clandestine about it and just being fucking sus, basically. Now I'm conflicted. I feel like she disregarded my feelings and boundaries, which she did, and like, again, that's the problem here. That's the thing that went wrong. On the other hand, she says she doesn't see anything wrong with her actions because her environment growing up made her think this is normal. Let's not get mad. Let's not get annoyed. Like, yes, her environment growing up made her think this is normal. That's fine. That's a fine thing on its own because it is normal. Like, it can be totally normal and innocent and platonic and X, Y, and Z. The problem with her actions is the fact that she lied about it. Well, she didn't mention it until it was done and it was a few days later because, and she said herself, because she knew it would bother him. So the issue is that she's fine with ignoring her partner's boundaries and the things that make him uncomfortable, and also like robbing him of an opportunity to communicate about that and talk this through beforehand and make everyone feel comfortable, whether she stayed there or not. It's the lying or omitting but breaching the boundaries anyway that is the problem. And now there's just fertile soils for resentment being bred, because now the boyfriend's always going to wonder, like, what's she lying about? Is she doing something and not telling me about it? The thing is, even if it's completely innocent, which it very well could be, it just sets this weird precedent. Someone's comment here basically sums up like the vibe I'm feeling. Man, I can't with this rain, hey. I've seen this situation a few times on this subreddit. Someone traveling to a location and in need of some housing accommodations, the other sex is out of town and makes perfect sense to use a place while they're gone, but for some strange reason they always return unexpectedly. Tale as old as time, and it's always discovered after the fact, not during, and then it's always I knew you would be mad and not understand. This really is like a script. So yes, it is kind of hard to believe this isn't premeditated, but also even if it wasn't, the disrespecting of the boundaries, not caring about feelings, blah 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 blah, lying by omission, all of that is also just fucking not a good sign. Not a good sign. My boyfriend, 22 male, tried to buy me, 21 female, a boob job for my birthday. Okay, my boyfriend comes from a wealthy family. My family is upper middle class, but not crazy wealthy. Not wealthy enough for throwing thousands of dollars at your significant other for a completely elective surgery. This all started because a couple months ago I had sepsis. How the hell did sepsis to the boob job pipeline is not something I knew about. I had a UTI that I never got around to getting a prescription for because I was so busy with college work and club sports that I barely even found the time to eat. That alone is fucking wild. I was peeing blood and in a severe pain by the time I was hospitalized. If you've got a fucking UTI, go to the doctor. Do something about it. Pay attention to it. I lost weight due to the hospitalization, 30 pounds, and my boyfriend has made remarks asking when I'll get my curves back. I know he likes bigger girls. What a fucking piece of shit. Just what an absolute waste of fucking oxygen. I know he likes bigger girls, whatever, but I'm taking my time to get my strength back and just eating whole foods, which is priority, there's that, getting your health and your strength back, literally every other single thing that has ever happened in human history, and then your boyfriend liking curves in terms of importance on this list. The weight will come if it comes, and honestly I'm fine with my body right now because I'm at a healthy weight. Again, that is literally all that matters. He doesn't put too much effort into his appearance. Tale as old as time, man. Tale as old as time. It is always the men with a face like a slapped ass who don't wash their ass. It is always dudes that hold maintenance levels for themselves here and for their partners up here that just have this audacity. It doesn't put effort into his appearance, so I never react well to him trying to police mine. Good. My birthday was Wednesday, and after we went out to dinner with friends, we were alone. He gave me a little business card and said it was my gift. I was confused, so I looked closer and it was a cosmetic surgeon's card with an appointment date on it. This is like so fucking wild. To set a date for an appointment with a surgeon for someone else's body who has not shown any interest in wanting this surgery, mind you, is fucking insane. I asked what it was and he said he wanted me to feel more like myself, aka more like what he wants her to look like, even though she feels fine how she is. So he scheduled a consultation with a surgeon for a breast augmentation. To his credit, since I've been feeling so crappy and I've been wanting to feel a little cuter, I've been doing little things like getting my nails and hair done just to boost my confidence a little bit. There is expansive middle ground between getting your nails done and your boyfriend making you an appointment with a surgeon to get your tits done. Huge middle ground. We've really fucking covered some space here. However, I did not want a boob job, and I have never said I wanted a boob job. I just got out of the fucking hospital after a month. I don't want to go near any surgeons or hospitals anytime soon unless it's life or death, which is so the obvious response to that. Crazy that this boyfriend sucks. Get rid of him. We don't live together, so I asked him to leave. I told him I'd speak to him when I was ready. He's been blowing up my phone and begging me to call him or just acknowledge him, but I have no idea what to say yet. Say you're breaking up and then fucking leave, because this is nuts. Part of me wants to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he just wanted to help my confidence, but part of me isn't sure. The pure delusion in that sentence is thinking that this boyfriend had any intention, that her feelings came into that decision at all in any way, because they clearly didn't. That's straight in the bin. Straight in the bin. Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect don't collect anything. To jail with you, sir. And not even making a mention of how manipulative it is to use someone's birthday to disguise a really selfish act as like, oh, this is for you on your birthday. I'm gonna make your birthday present something for me that you have to go into fucking surgery for, permanently alter your body for something you didn't ask for when you just got out of hospital for sepsis, which is life-threatening. This man is bordering on a sociopath. This is treating a human being like a car that you want some new parts for. Moving on. My husband accused me of murder out of the blue. How do I salvage this? You fucking don't. I don't even know if I need to read the rest of this. What? This is long and ridiculous. Sorry. I am intrigued. I'll say that. My 30 female husband, Luke, 33M, I've got the names out, and his sister, Laura, 29 female. We were all close and saw each other 2 to 3 times a month, along with their parents. Almost 6 months ago, Laura fell down the stairs at their family home and died. It was a freak accident. There's a window on the half landing and she hit her head on the sill. Oh, that's awful. I was the last person to see her. I was there for less than 10 minutes and she was in her pajamas making coffee. I didn't even stay for a drink, and I struggle with how such a brief and meaningless interaction could have been her last. She deserves so much more. This is just a cooked situation from the jump. My husband and I have only been married for a year, but we've been together for 4, and we've known each other for 20 plus. When Laura's parents found her, they called my husband straight away and we rushed over. We faced the whole thing as a family. In the days after, Luke started quizzing me exactly what we talked about, what she was wearing, where she was standing, etc. It progressed to saying I was providing conflicting information on tiny details he was deliberately misunderstanding, and accusing me of withholding information because I couldn't tell him things like what pajamas she was wearing, which I could have a whole ass conversation, a whole hangout with someone and not pay attention to anything they're wearing. This escalated quickly but lasted for less than a week as I lost my cool and made it clear that I was done answering questions. He didn't bring it up again and I wrote it off as a grief quirk. Yeah, that's like that's a weird way of processing grief, but like I guess grief shows up in different ways for everyone. His behavior was generally that of a normal grieving person. Last Friday, he outright accused me of murdering her in front of his parents. Okay, so this has just we've gone downhill quite a bit here. We're not heading anywhere good. Out of the blue, we were all stunned. There was an inquest which recently concluded, and there was never any doubt the verdict would be accidental death. He said it was completely obvious and he couldn't believe that no one else could see it. Oh, this man is not taking his sister dying well at all. This man is really lashing out in a very weird way. He claims I went through his phone and found his messages with Laura. I have absolutely no idea what messages he's talking about. I have never looked at his phone. That's sus. And I went over to confront her and things got out of hand and I pushed her downstairs. So he's got skeletons in the closet then with his sister. He knows the messages that he sent to his sister about God knows what are bad enough that in his mind it would justify his wife, I think, killing his sister over them. So what the f were those messages about? By the end, he was shouting about going to the police and getting the inquest overturned and how I wasn't going to get away with it. Let me be clear, Laura and I had a great relationship. We all did. I had no idea where this has come from other than these messages I haven't seen, and even then, I don't think there's anything I could ever see on someone's phone that would drive me to murder. It's just ridiculous. What could those messages be? Like he said something to his sister that's bad about her, but I'm like, what could you possibly be saying that in your head you would think your girlfriend, your wife, I don't remember, your wife would murder your sister over it? Did him and his sister have like a weird incestuous relationship? Because that's like all I could think of that they could possibly have been messaging about to validate his response here. And even then it's just fucking weird. Like who does that? He's been with his parents since this happened and will not talk to me at all. I've had some contact with his mum, but she's not being very communicative. The last I heard, she didn't know what messages he was referring to either. I'm still completely stunned and I have no idea how to proceed. Fair enough, I don't think anyone would. I made a commitment to be there for him always, and I understand that grief can manifest in strange ways, but part of me feels like my love for him died the second he called me a murderer. Yeah, to say the least, babe. Like that's the only normal part of this whole story. I don't know how we could possibly work through this. You can't. You can't come back from your husband accusing you of murdering his sister in a very genuine way. A brain tumor or psychotic break has crossed my mind and I suggested it to his mother and she said she'll just talk to him. Other than the questions before, he hasn't been acting odd. Obviously he's been grieving, but he's seemed sane and sensible other than this. I feel like I'm going mad. This is like some next level. I don't even know what to make of that. That is insane. I think she should, like, this is not a relationship question. You should get a lawyer. The mum's not being communicative. Oh my God, can we just say that word once in this whole video? The mum's not really communicating much anymore. The husband is off his tits about this. You should get a lawyer. There was something fucking weird happening with him and his sister in those messages. And the thing is, for the husband to think it justifies murder or explains murder, those messages had to be fucked. There's a lot of things you could the mind reels as to what those messages could have been, but it's all bad. All the ideas are bad. So dodged a bullet, or he's got a brain tumor, which may also, I don't know. But yeah, you gotta go no contact, get a lawyer. You get the fuck away from these people, man. This is crazy. My boyfriend falsely staged a drug intervention for me. I'm not addicted to drugs. What do I do? It's not funny, but like, what do you mean? What on earth? What on God's green earth? I've 26 female, been with my boyfriend, 27 male for 3 years. There is something happening in the late 20s relationships. What is happening? Been with my boyfriend for 3 years. Our relationship has had absolutely no issues before this incident. He's been the perfect and most loving partner. However, last week I came home from, which is almost like, that's a red flag for me. Absolutely no issues, perfect partner, but falsely staged a drug intervention. This is screaming budding or active abuse of some f***ing description. There's something f***ed about this. However, last week I came home from work to an intervention with all of my close friends and family. Orchestrated by my boyfriend, who apparently has convinced them I'm a drug addict. Yeah, so this is weird abuse. but abuse. For context, I have no history of drug use, no behavioral signs that would suggest addiction, and no reason for him to believe otherwise. I believe he knows I'm not on drugs because he said things to my mum and sister that he knows to be untrue. That things have gone missing around the house, they haven't. That I've used his credit card to withdraw money, I don't even have his card details. And I've been acting erratically, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. When I confronted him about all this, he said it's not about the drugs, it's about making sure you're safe. This man is insane. I wonder what his end goal is, because like, yes, the end goal appears to be isolating her from all of her friends and family and like planting this seed that she's hiding something and lying and she's unhinged and untrustworthy, blah, blah, blah. Surely he has to know this will end the relationship with her. So like, if you're planning to abuse someone and control them, but you do this thing that she knows she's not on drugs and he also knows she's not on drugs, this ends in a breakup. So like, this seems illogical. Not that like abuse is ever logical, but it just makes no sense. My partner is a psychologist, deeply concerning. He's convinced my entire family I am displaying all the hallmark signs of drug addiction. They all insist I'm in denial and that I need help. This is f***ing next level group gaslighting. No one is willing to entertain my denials at all. At this point, just get a drug test. Just go to a drug test for whatever drug he thinks you're on. My mum says she isn't willing to have me over to her house, and my sister won't allow me to see my nieces until I go to rehab. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Based on conversations with my family and friends, I believe he's been spinning this story for several months now prior to staging the intervention. You get the f out of there and you run, man. This is cooked. I'm super embarrassed as he organized for practically all my close friends, family, and even a work colleague to attend the intervention, which was the point. The embarrassment and the isolation was the point. And they're making you feel insane also. But more than that, I feel utterly betrayed and confused. I can't understand his motivation for doing this. Can anyone offer me some insight as to what is prompting this otherwise normal man to do this? He's not a normal man. Got his mask on, is acting like a normal man. This is a f***ing nutcase. A narcissist, a sociopath, whatever description you think fits. I know they get thrown around a lot, but I think one of them has to fit this dude. Oh my God, the top comment just says, fuck out now in all caps, and I agree. This is scary. This person said get a drug test, the hair kind, and let them all grovel with apologies. This is a good idea because a hair test is like a long-term test. So if you've done drugs over the past like year, especially weed, or I don't even know what drugs is he accusing her of doing. In any sense, it will show up in a hair test. Show up in any test. If you're an actual addict, it'll show up in any test. Dump the boyfriend who is weaponizing his profession to isolate and control you. This is f***ing wild that he's a psychologist. Told my wife, a female 35, that she couldn't do it without me, male 34. Turns out she can. What is this gonna be? I made one stupid selfish comment to my wife a week or so ago, and now my life is in disarray. I feel like this didn't start and end at one comment, but anyway. My wife is in some crisis, her work is closed and she's being paid, but she's home with our kids now, including one 3-year-old. She gets breaks on Monday and Friday with childcare. We went into having kids knowing she wanted to be a working mother, so this has been an adjustment to say the least. On to the OG fight. She spent a long day with our kids and the neighboring kids, and when I came upstairs from work and she asked for a break, I didn't respond well. I made excuses and didn't offer help. For the first time in years, my wife lost her temper and cursed at me. Like an idiot, I dug in and thought I was right. I admit we both said some unkind things. Believable. But after Reddit humbled me and she made me sit down and write a list of things I did for the family that day and compared it with her longer list, I apologized. She accepted it and I figured things would go back to normal. So this is a follow-up Reddit post. He had already posted on Reddit. Assuming he's already posted about this, got his ass handed to him. In his words, he's been humbled. But still thought it was gonna go back to normal? So he thought he was right, got told he was wrong by a lot of people, assuming, and that he wasn't pulling his weight, and now he just thinks it's gonna go back to normal, even though now he's aware that he's not pulling his weight. I immediately don't have sympathy for this man. They haven't. My wife used to include me in parenting our kids. I did dance pickups most weeks and bedtime was split. I gave baths, made dinner, all the stuff. Since our fight, my wife hasn't asked me for any help with the kids. The first morning I woke up on what was supposed to be my morning with the kids, I figured she was just being nice or trying to prove a point, but it keeps happening. She is prepping for a divorce. This is step one of a divorce. She didn't even send them down to say goodnight last night. Normally my wife does this silly game where she sends my son to ask me to read 5 books and then we would negotiate down to 1 or 2 and race upstairs. Last night I heard her raising him and came up to find her doing bedtime yet again. The kids haven't even noticed. It's like she's replacing me. So I'm assuming the comment that he made that she couldn't do it without him. Now she's proving that she can. There seems to be a lot of detail missed in this. When we were fighting, if I had just shut up and read the next paragraph, maybe we'd figure it out. When we were fighting, I said something really, really dumb that's living inside me and festering. My wife was being being nasty and said you wouldn't see the kids a quarter as much as you do if I didn't arrange it and I'm done managing you. Fair enough. I defended myself, I'm not an absent parent, and said something along the lines of, I'd like to see how long you can manage without me. Okay, so this is where we f***ed up. Consider my foot officially in my mouth. Yeah. She started running again. She's cooking really healthy and often. She is going to divorce you. This is not looking good for you, my man. She's out of there, or she's already checked out. Every night I come home to my perfectly happy Stepford wife doing it all without me and I feel empty inside. Fucking did it to yourself. How do I fix this? I don't even know where to begin. At this point, I want to beg her to go back to how things were. This wasn't what we agreed on. Edit. Guys, I get it. I'm a piece of shit. I'm going to make this right. This is, at least he's aware of how much he's f***ed up. What I don't think he realizes is that she is prepping to leave him, and that is obvious by all of her behavior. Okay, well, we've heard a lot today. We've heard a lot of things. We've not seen the best of humanity, and I fear we've not seen the worst either. So where does that leave us? The rain stopped, and that's the positive we're gonna focus on. I'm gonna f off and get some sushi, because even if people are shit, sushi's usually pretty good.